So Jazz, hello. Sorry, I'm a bit worn out. It's the hottest day of the year, and I have to do the video up in my room because my dad is mowing the grass, and it's rather loud, and we've got the patio door all the way open, so you wouldn't have been able to hear me, which is why I'm up here. But because we're in my room and I have the sloping ceilings, it's tropical weather. It's ridiculous. It's so well insulated, our house. So it's perfect in the winter. It gets slightly cold, but not overly. And then in the summer, you bake. So I'm very warm. I've got a bottle of water with me that I've just pulled out the freezer, so it's nice and cold, to try and get me through this. I'm afraid I've just got so much to tell you that I may have to split this into 2 videos. So we'll see how it goes. But I'll just follow it on straight after, and they'll both be uploaded at the same time. It just means you've got more to watch. Sorry. I watched yours this morning. Very nice. I like Sam's garden. I like his chili plants. I cannot believe he thinks one is too hot. What is wrong with him? I feel like he's failed as a man. He should be able he should be able to test his boundaries and succeed. So yeah, well done for saving the bee. I'm very impressed, although I don't know why you'd want to save a bee. I don't really like insects. I think the only insect I'm capable of being around is a snail, and that's only because I know it can't fly and it can't move very quick. So yeah, I don't know why you'd save a bee, but well done for doing it. That was your good deed. I don't do good deeds rarely. If I do, they normally have a recoil effect. Normally I do something good, but then something bad happens, so I just generally don't bother. Anyway, I'm waffling. Scrap the waffle. We've graduated. Feels so nice to say that. We graduated on Wednesday. We're done. We have finished being a student, and we are now adults. We now should be working adults, but technically I'm an unemployed adult, which doesn't feel too good at the moment. But never mind, I'm coping. It was lovely to see you and your family and Sam, obviously. It was just a really nice day. It was nice to see the girls too. The whole hat throwing thing was great. It was amazing how we got there Tuesday night, same as you, and we were due to stay in the Ibis, which isn't far from Halls. We got there, and they said our room has been flooded due to a burst pipe or something, and for that reason they don't have any other rooms available because of graduation. So for that reason they've moved us to a different hotel, all expenses paid for, and like they'll get us a taxi to get there and stuff. So it was, you know, Southsea, you know the common bit where Clarence Pier is. There's a hotel there called Queen's Hotel, and we've walked past it before. And it's got like a really posh entrance. It is really posh. It is really nice. We stayed there for the night, and it was a bit different because we were due to have 2 rooms. Hayley and I would be in one, Mum and Dad would be in the other. This one they did just chuck us all in the same room. So again, it was very hot. We were tightly knitted. Never been closer as a family. But for what we needed it for, we weren't in the room for very long. So that was the only snag. Breakfast was nice. Breakfast was included. We had a buffet. And the actual graduation day started off really well. We got up early, got ready and stuff, went to get the gown, and we did that before 1. They said we couldn't get it till 1, but we were doing that, oh, what if we get it a bit earlier, I wonder if we can. So we did, got the gown, got it early. Then we thought, well, I've got the gown now, let's try and do professional photos. So we did, we were in and out really quickly. So we probably had about maybe an hour to kill before I actually saw you and started taking real photos. So we just sat in Starbucks. Everybody else had a proper drink. I just had water. I was terrified of spilling anything on my gown and my dress, and having stuff in my teeth as well. So I didn't eat, and I didn't drink anything other than water, because I was so worried that it would show up in the photo. So I'm really glad I didn't. And also I think there was a bit of nerves sitting in my stomach because I was worried, like, what if I trip on the stage, what if I have to go first out of everybody and all of that. But never mind, it was sorted. So I'm just trying to check my list, which, as you know, I always make. Okay. Yes. So the day did go really, really well. On the steps, when I was having photos taken of you, I told you about it, and I'm sure I saw Rebecca. I'm 99.7% convinced I saw her, which I don't understand why. I didn't see Rachel once. I saw her when she was going up on stage, obviously, but in terms of like in the areas of taking photos and stuff, didn't see her at all. So Rachel, if you're watching this, well done on graduating. Why aren't you speaking to us? But never mind, and I haven't actually seen any photos of her with other people, like they've all come from Tom. So I don't know if she took any of her own. I didn't see her kids or Russ or anything. And I didn't see a photo of her with Rebecca. Sounds really weird calling her Rebecca, but I feel we're back to we barely know each other, so it's fine. So it was just a bit weird. But never mind. I never did get around to getting a programme. As you know, we rushed off and we badly underestimated how long the ceremony was going for. So I was kind of walking towards where I had to give the gown back, and I was trying to unpin it from myself and like throw it all over my shoulder. And I was going to ask them, but they were literally all in a room and there was just clothing. I couldn't see a bag inside. So I thought, you know what, I'd love a programme, but I don't need it that much. So I didn't get one in the end. I got a mug. I don't really need the mug. It's just kind of sat down there. So as a space saver, I may get rid of that. Whereas the programme, it was kind of small enough to keep, which is why I wanted it. But never mind. I didn't even want the bag. So yeah, so we underestimated our time. So we grabbed the suitcase from the hotel, and while my parents were walking towards the bus stop, I said, right, I'm going to ditch the gown and coat and I'll meet you there. Got there and we were waiting there for about 20 minutes and then the coach arrived, so we were literally cutting it quite tight. I really wanted to go to Ravelin Park to see the tutors, because I didn't see them around the steps, and I really, really wanted to say, like, you know, bye, thanks for having me, have a nice day. I just never got around to it, so I was a bit gutted about that. But mum saw how upset I was, and she was like, well, you could always email them. So I did. I emailed them saying thank you, you helped me to achieve what I got, and I'm really happy for that, and I'm really grateful. And they all came back immediately. I emailed Mike, Rachel, and Lynn. I would have emailed Annie, but she doesn't have an email address. And each one of them came back and they said, you know, you've been an amazing student, it's a pleasure to teach you, and make my head go bigger and bigger and bigger. And Martin was saying, good luck for the industry, and I was like, at the moment I can't get into the industry, but never mind. And then Rachel was just like, keep in touch, which is sweet. So yeah, it really is all over now. Like, I've said goodbye, I've done it. The only thing that is yet to be completed is the professional photos and my certificate coming. Once that's come, then I am done with university. I'll delete, not my email address because that will delete itself in time, but anything that I've got that is still attached to Portsmouth that I don't want to keep, I'm just going to go bin and it'll be done. I saw today on Facebook that in Halls, two of the people I was living with, Dougie and Poppy, have both graduated too. So congratulations to them. They did better than someone. Yes, so once we got on the coach, I'm still travelling home. Once we got on the coach, it was really empty. There was nobody travelling, which was quite nice. But the guy was really, really late. Not late, but he was just taking his time, putting people's cases in and stuff. And we were like, look, mate, we just want to get going. They're not even on our coach. Don't help them. Like, come and help us. But we got halfway down on the A3, and there was this car pulled into the shoulder, I think. I'm trying to learn technical driving things. I think it's called the shoulder, or the hard shoulder, sounds right. And the bonnet of it, the engine, the bit where you open it from the front, not the boot, was on fire. The windscreen had cracked. There was no one in the car, thankfully, but the bit where the people sit was slowly catching on fire. So the fire started here, and it was just going along and along and along. And the driver had warned us, saying, "Look, if this explodes, I may get told that I can't go past because it's a health and safety issue. I have passengers on board and all of that shit." So we were sitting there going, oh my god, please can we get past? Because we could see in the distance that some cars were like crawling past it. So we had everything crossed that we'd get past, because if we wouldn't, or if we couldn't, I should say, we could have been stuck there for like hours on end. Thankfully, we got past, and then 10 minutes past it, fire engines were going the other way. We didn't hear a bang, but I assume it went bang. So God knows what happened there. So that was the kind of driving back graduation experience. But we were lucky to have got through, and we got back really, really late. We had fish and chips that night. We couldn't bother to cook. I think we were eating at about 10:30, and we didn't go to bed till midnight something or other. So it was a really late one, but never mind. I have a bone to pick with you. I cannot believe you didn't tell me that my sister had gone and bought me the graduation owl, Pandora charm. You little rat for keeping that from me. We have made a pact to get it for each other, and then I can't remember who said it first, but we were like, oh, we don't actually have any money to get each other. And you just completely agreed. We're like, yeah, that's fine. And then it never got brought up again. And Hayley said that she had been like messaging you saying, don't let her get it. I know you've got a pact, but please don't buy it for her, and don't let her buy you one because you won't get one. Like, oh, I cannot believe it. You were in cahoots with my sister. Rude. Very rude. But I love him. He's on my bracelet. I am now running out of room on my bracelet. I think I've probably got another 6 charms left that I could buy, which is insane. But I have had it since I was 18, so that is over 3 years, which is pretty impressive, I'd say. But yeah, okay, I'm just scrolling down my phone. It got to the stage where I was writing this note of a list, and it said I couldn't write anymore because I'd run out of characters. So half of it is kind of stored up here, and as I said, I'm going to have to split this video into 2 because I really don't think, even if it lets me record that much, I don't think I could upload it. It would just take forever. So never mind. I don't know what to... So the graduation experience. Let me drop my phone. Graduation experience told me 2 things. 1, never ever trust a hairdresser. Not if you're after a main event. So I got my hair curled for graduation. I went to them asking for a perm because I was worried that I was getting my hair done the day before, and I said to them, look, I've got to travel, I've got to sleep, and then I've got to wake up, and it's got to be intact. And I said, GHDs, no matter how good they are, they're not going to keep it intact, are they? And they said, hairspray, fine, still not going to do the job. And this woman was adamant that I didn't need a perm, it's too old fashioned, it costs too much, like, she just didn't want to give me one. So I thought, okay, fine, if you don't want me to give you all my money, then I won't, but I want your kind of guaranteed that it's going to last. And in fairness, you know, I was there for what felt like ages. I must have been there for 2 hours. And she didn't wash my hair because she said it was better if it's slightly greasy because it'll stay intact. But okay, this bill is coming down and down and down because a wash and blow dry is like 30 quid. That is the standard package. And she didn't cut it because I wanted to keep my hair like the same amount of length for like maximum curls. And so then she started curling, and in fairness, it looked okay. At half of it, I was like, oh my god, I look like a poodle. But by the time she'd done the other half, I thought, yeah, okay, it looks nice. I can live with this. that day, while I was in the hairdressers, it had been raining, it had been windy. I was at the top end of the high street. Sorry, I just spat everywhere. I was at the top end of the high street and I had to get down to the bottom. And I was just like, do you know what, this isn't really going to work, is it? Because I didn't have an umbrella. I had a hood, but I thought surely that's just going to like flatten the hair, so it's not going to work. If I get it wet, will that do anything? So I just risked it. I was dodging in and out of shops all the way home to try and help it. By the time I got home, I looked in the mirror and it was wavy, but it was not curly, and I was gutted. I had paid them £30, so it was 20 to curl, which is ridiculous considering I could curl it myself. And then 10 was for dry shampoo. Now I know you can buy the dry shampoo in Asda, and I've never done it before, because I just assume it doesn't work. Sorry, I got earbuds. But she was like, trust me, I'm a hairdresser, I swear by it all the time. It's really good, and it's a little bottle, you can carry it around with you on the day. So I'm like, well, okay, I haven't spent a fortune on a perm, I'll do it. So I bought that, and the shampoo in Venice is really good. But I was just so disappointed because I paid 20 quid for these curls and they'd come out. So the day of graduation, I was in the hotel room. Thankfully, I took my curlers with me because I thought I could at least just top it up a bit to give it a bit more volume. But I practically had to redo the whole thing. And my mum was there helping me, like, to get to the back and the bottom bits that I couldn't quite reach or see. But I was just fuming. It was not a good start to the day. Thankfully, the day got better, but I was not impressed. And she said to me when I did it, oh, if you come back the week after, you can show me photos and I can cut your hair that time. I was like, bloody cheap, I'm not going to get another 30 quid off me that quickly, like, I'm going to make you wait for it. So as you can see, my hair is like as high up and off my neck as possible because it's so hot today. I'm melting. I really, really am. But never mind. What was the second thing that I wouldn't trust? Oh, the second thing I couldn't trust was my bladder. When we'd met on the steps, I deliberately hadn't drunk all that much. I had a bit of water all day, and that was it. And we got through the photos before the ceremony, and we were making our way down the steps, and we saw Kaylee, we saw Vicky, and I thought, really do with the toilet. And I kept quiet because I was like trying to keep an eye out instead, but because we were getting ushered along, we had to look at our bracelets, see which bit of the thing we were in. And then by the time I sat down, I had people on my right, people on my left. I was like, it's not really a good time to like say, excuse me, can I get past? So I just kind of left it. And then I got like you'd been up on stage already and sat back down, and then it was me, and I was like, oh right, okay, we're near the end. The ceremony just went on and on for ages after that. Like we had the masters, we had the other courses. I was just like, oh my goodness, I really need to go, and I don't want to get up and interrupt because A, it's rude, B, I don't like doing it, and C, I didn't really know where the toilets were anyway. So I just held on to it. But then obviously, like the photos afterwards, I didn't want to just go and find a toilet because then I was like, what if you all disappear? So I kept hold of it, and thankfully that distracted me. And then it was go take your gown back, get the suitcase, and then before you know it, I was in the coach. So I managed to hold it for so long that day. I was quite impressed. I think if I ever become pregnant, I'll do quite well. But yeah, so it was interesting. But yeah, so that was the graduation day, all in all. So catching up from my last video, I think I told you that Haley, John and I were what? We went to see my dad's brother and his wife and our two cousins, who are Haley's age, both girls, and she is the mad aunt. So she's not blood relative, she's married in. But she's the one who used to write to me at uni with the crazy like loopy writing that I can never ever read. And she's also the one who like believes in there's nothing wrong with believing in it, but she believes in ghosts and she tells us stories about things she's seen and stuff. And for John, who's never met her before, we were a bit worried about first meeting and him to get a bit freaked out by it. Because if you don't know her, it's very easy to just assume, you know, you're crazy, leave me alone, and run in the opposite direction. And so we deliberately sat in between them, so it went. Fortunately, I was next to her, and then it was Hayley, and then it was John. So they were opposite ends of the table. But we went to Frankie and Benny's, and it was really, really good. Second time I've ever been to the restaurant, and it was really, really nice. I had spicy meatballs, and they were good. It was like spicy meatballs with chicken and sausage. So it had like every meat combination possible with penne pasta. It was really, really good. And then had, what did I have for dessert? I can't remember. I think it was like a toffee, it was like a toffee caramelly honeycomby cheesecake type thing. And it was really good. It was massive, but it was really, really nice. It's completely, you know, American diner, oversized portions, but really, really scrumptious food. Which was really, really nice. So on Sunday, Dad, Mum, and I took Nan to B&Q. She's wanting to get a new kitchen done, and it's a bad idea. She's doing it because her cooker is really low down, and she's ever since her accident last year, she's struggling to bend. So the whole point is to get a higher up oven so she doesn't have to bend. But the rest of the kitchen, like the cupboards, it's all starting to fall apart. Like she's been in that house now 12 years, and she's never done the kitchen. Like the kitchen was already there. So in fairness, 12 years is quite a long. It's a good time to not have to redecorate. But she's now at that age where banks won't give her a long enough loan because of like that age risk and stuff. Like, will she be able to pay it back? Because at the end of the day, they're just after the money. They don't really care who pays it back and whatnot, and why she can and why she can't. So the problem with the cooker as well is because it's going in a different place. The whole thing has to be like not redesigned essentially, but things have to be moved. So everything from cupboards to worktops to sinks to cookers to electrics to plumbing to lighting. The light doesn't matter actually. To the radiator, all of that has to be redesigned, refigured, something like that. So anyway, we took her to B&Q, and on the way back, we were passing Hayley's to drop her off. I think it was books, maybe, for her to read. And I knew, because I saw them Saturday, the day before, I knew that they were putting up a garden shed. So they had their old one destroyed because it was all broken and wooden and rotted and windows were broken and stuff. And his parent and grandparents bought them a new, brand new plastic one, slightly bigger, more modern, all of that type of thing. And the only problem with modern stuff is most of the day it's now flat pack and you have to build it yourself. So on the Saturday I knew that, and I said, look, if you want my help, I'm not doing anything on Sunday, I'd be happy to lend a hand. And they said, no, it's very sweet of you, but don't worry, we'll manage. So I thought, okay, fine, I can just, you know, watch TV or read a book, whatever. And on the way back, I texted them saying, look, we're dropping your book off, do you need a hand? And she rang me because she's too stressed to text. I could hear it in her voice how angry she was getting. And she was saying that, like, in the 3 hours that they've been out there building it, they haven't actually managed to build anything because they started following the instructions and it went wrong, so they stopped following the instructions and it went wrong, so now they've dismantled everything and they're about to go on. So I thought, oh dear, I'll come round and help. And she said, look, we're both very bad tempered, you may get like verbally abused a bit. And I was like, no, that's fine, honestly, look, I want to help, you need the shed up. Surely 3 hands are better, 3 pairs of hands are better than 2. And as it happens, I think we could have done with another 2 people helping as well. It was crazy. I don't understand how one person supposedly could build this shed, which is what the instructions said. But you need one person to hold a panel, another person to hold the other panel, and then someone to join it together at the bottom. And then with the wind blowing and it was raining a bit, it was a nightmare. But we got it up a lot quicker than when they tried. We followed the instructions, which they didn't. It was tiring and our arms were aching, and it was hot as well. So it was hot but spitting with rain, and it was windy, but it was warm wind, and it was just, and we were wearing the wrong type of clothes because I'd gone to B&Q with the assumption I'm not going to be building a shed. I'd worn like proper jeans and like a proper t-shirt. If I'd have known I was building a shed, I'd have gone around in shorts and like the strappiest top I could find because it would just get too hot. But we did it, and they're grateful that it's up, and they're grateful that I helped, because without me, without bragging, I don't think they'd have done it. And so as a thank you, they bought me some pizza, because they didn't have anything for lunch, so they were going to order pizza, and they were like, we can't send her away knowing that we're about to have food, so they let me join, which was sweet of them. So that was the weekend. It was crazy. So then, obviously, that was the weekend before graduation. So then graduation happened. Thursday, day we got back. No, the day after we got back. Mum had taken Thursday and Friday off. Their birthday was on Monday, which was yesterday. So she just wanted a nice long weekend. And seeing as we got back so late from Portsmouth, it kind of made sense as well. So on the Thursday we went into Sutton, and I had one of my kind of fainting spells. I really don't know what it's all about. But we walked around a few shops, headed home, and I just went, Mum, I don't feel well, and I ended up sitting on the pavement, head between the knees. Dad had to come and pick me up, which was stupid because we were like 10 minutes walk away from home. But my mum was like, no, I'm not risking it, we don't know what's wrong with you. And I spent the rest of the afternoon just lying on the sofa with a hot water bottle, feeling sorry for myself. But I don't know what was wrong with me. I'm fine now, thankfully. It just seems to happen. So I'm deliberately trying to get into the habit of carrying a bottle of water with me, even if it's around the house, which sounds stupid. But I think I just don't drink enough, and that's probably why I'm always fainting, which isn't good, I know. So then I've also, whilst fainting, I've been applying to jobs left, right and centre. I've gone for retails, from jewellers to Smiths to supermarkets, to waitressing, bar staff, pizzerias type stuff, to office work, admin roles, not secretaries, what they called, assistants, to receptionists. And then I've also applied for like design stuff, so internships, again, assistant but at an interior design firm. I've not heard anything back from any of them, and it's driving me insane because although I'm not bored, like I don't really get bored. I like having things that I can do when I want to, but I want the money and I want to have to do something, if that makes sense. So after I've done this, I'll probably go and watch a movie, but I don't have to watch the movie. I can watch the movie tomorrow, but it'd be nice to go, nope, I have to go to work. It'd be so nice. And I know you were saying how you may have to start working the weekend, but at the moment I'm even looking at weekend work. Like, I'm just trying to find something, anything that pays. I'm not being particularly fussy. It's just no one wants me if I don't have the experience, but no one's willing to give me the experience first off. So I don't know, it's a vicious cycle and I hate it. I may just go on benefits. No, I won't. I can't do that. Not after everything I've like grown up in believing. So I won't do that. It's just frustrating. And I've heard several stories from friends and my mum's friends and stuff saying how long it's taken their daughters to apply, and to get work, and it's not always work that they want, but at least then they're earning. So I'm gonna stick at it, and hopefully something will come up. But yeah, so that I think is everything. Well, not everything. There is another video to come, but I think I've hit the 30-minute mark now, so that's everything for this first video. So I'm gonna pause this, and yeah, I'll be right back.